Hello, crypto pirates and crypto junkies alike. Welcome to my Discourse Syndicate.
The
Today
technical
it's
problems
without,
already have
without
occurred.
kinetics. Come again, Papa B.
Okay, so there was no true intro, so I'm taken aback, and now I'm in half screen format. This is doing very well, Peter. How are you?
I'm very
Thank you.
good. Do you like it now?
I think it's mildly acceptable now. Yes, I'm very
Okay.
happy that I'm here on this boat where Peter is insisting on being on the top deck, and he keeps me down below with the one working oar. So we're definitely destined to swim around in circles for about an hour.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Captain Peter.
Yeah. Let's
So-
greet our viewers.
Hi,
Downhill
viewer.
swimmer. I like that name. Crypto Games Club. I baseline. Touch the Hexican. Hello. Pay me Hex. Wake Dog. Crypto King. Tiago Duarte. Etc. Benny Blitz. Oh my god, there are so many of you. RGS. Tripod. Johnny Chaos, welcome. Where is
Oh
everybody?
boy.
I don't know. KNTX had a good, how do you say it? Had a good reason not to be here. But yeah, at least I was thinking Henry would tune in a bit from his Henry Island, but yeah, it's only me and the goddamn and the Papa B. Me
What
and the
about?
Papa.
I've been promoted from the poop deck.
From what?
The poop deck. The poop
I
deck.
don't know what that is.
You don't know what the poop deck is? It's part of the ship that you walk
I
on.
never leave the captain's office now.
Oh, the elitism has taken over, and you've run away with. You're drunk with power. This is amazing.
Something like that. Yes.
I like it.
Konnichiwa,
nice.
Papa.
Konnichiwa. I like that. I like this too. Konnichiwa to you too. Yeah, you also have the power.
Oh my god.
Oh boy, yes, it happens, and so it occurs. So,
and it wasn't
Peter,
you, Papa B. Yep.
What's the matter?
It wasn't you who downgraded the show.
No, you can't put him in the brig. So very nice, Peter. You do know you have the power to invite special guests as well, right? You could always demand that somebody join our crew.
Who we have here? Hi, RG.
The captain has occurred. Thank you, Captain. How are you doing?
Here to kick me out of the captain's lounge?
No.
Okay.
But when I show up, you let me bring myself on.
Okay.
Oh.
Hello.
Instead, I bring Henry.
Hey. Yes.
How is it?
My
ground on Henry Island.
I could have been looking at my nudes.
I'm
was
sorry, RG. You looked so ready that I just had to edit on the stream.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Psyched. Getting 2 hours of sleep for the first time in a week and a half or so.
Yeah, I think I got a couple myself. I have this problem now. Now it's wake up in the middle of the night and check everything, and then back asleep, and then a couple hours later check it again. And yeah,
we're talking about your crypto portfolio and not your private parts, right?
I haven't checked those in months. How's it going, Henry?
Yeah, good man.
Did we get the plumbing and everything set up on the island yet?
Not yet.
Okay, let me know. The asphalt for the roads is on its way, by the way. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Henry and I are building an island. You guys didn't hear?
Building? Aren't we supposed to take one over with the guns all ablazing?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're setting up the roads, the fortifications, the plumbing, the electrical. It's all getting done right now.
Nice.
Yeah. 12 cents made it a little more difficult. We had to At 17, we were really kicking along at 17. Things were moving. See, we're shaking. We were ordering shit, and then we had to slow down on the private airport for a few, but it'll be back in production here pretty soon.
Man, give it a month or two.
I was hoping for the drop to the 5, so I could pile up on this stuff with my hat,
5
and my
cents?
bald head shiny. Yes.
Were you thinking 5 cents?
I was hoping it would be like Joe Exotic was talking about the double drop, and it's going to happen, the 5.5, and it's going to touch that wall. I was really like unzipping, like, what else can we sell in the entire house? What other documents do I have to liquidate to cash in on this amazing dip? But no, they didn't give me anything.
I mean, 12 cents seems to be quite a good price for it at the moment, doesn't it?
It's liking it, right? It's liking 12 cents. So I mean, I 5 cents is a stretch. I don't know if that's ever going to be seen anytime.
No, just my luck.
We already tested the previous high, so I don't know.
It wicked down to 7 and then
7, yeah.
Quickly scooted away from that.
Yep.
Quickly.
Oh yeah.
That was a stunt and a half, though. That was a shut the back door after me type of stunt from some whale, right? That's what we think.
Maybe. Hey, Cosdy, thank you for the $20.
Private keys.
It will be used for repairs on the ship. Is there a difference between private key and private parts?
Hey, whales only. It's a nautical thing.
Hey, whales.
Probably that's maybe a question for you.
What? Is there a difference between private? Is there a difference between private keys and private parts?
No.
No.
Both should be kept safe.
You keep them safe.
Exactly.
And both can draw onto titanium.
No?
Perhaps.
That is wishful thinking there, buddy.
Yeah. Hi, Wells.
How you guys doing?
How you doing?
We're good, man. We're good.
We were just talking about you, Whales.
We were talking about dips. We're talking about dips.
And you're my favorite dip, Whales.
Oh, whoa. Slow that down.
He's trying to be cute this morning.
All right.
He's trying to be cute.
I mean, we had a nice little dip to like 11 and looks like 11.7 cents roundabouts. But it looks like that's gonna be it for the dip. Once we get above those RSI bands in the I'm looking at the 4-hour chart right now, and typically you want to scale time, right? And what that means is you want like the patterns to kind of be similar across each time frame. And right now, when you're looking at the 1 hour, it's not a good look. So what you want to see on the 1 hour is you want to see it find support eventually, and it's looking like 12.5 is the area for now. But we'll see. We will see if the run continues. I think this is the floor, because what else is there to do? And when you scale down to the 15-minute, it looks like this is the floor, but we'll see. So far, so good.
I would be so happy if this would be the floor. So
well, interestingly enough, we have a negative divergence, and a negative divergence implies a lower low on the momentum side of things with a higher low on the price side of things. And that's basically what we have, because when you look at the date for 19th of July, 2021, just on any time frame smaller than a day, so 12 hours and down, you'll see that it's like you guys were talking about earlier, or maybe it was in the late show with the Australians. Yeah, it was in the late show with the Australians. Tangent was talking about it. That one main candle where it moved down to 7.8 cents and change.
Yeah.
That candle created a low of 11.7 cents, right? And then when you look at the lowest low that we have here, it's 11.8 cents, or I'm sorry, on a closing basis. Give me a second. Let me make sure I got, on a closing basis, it's actually 12.2 cents. So it's way higher than the previous low that was made on that one big candle. So why is that important? It's important for two reasons. You got the MACD kind of crashing into the zero line. You got the RSI or you have RSI sitting in an area where support is typically found. And on top of that, you have momentum really looking weak, but price is not. Whereas price was very weak and momentum was not. Right? So now you have these things all flipping. So eventually this is just going to give us another little mini consolidation here, is my expectation, to give us another move higher. Because the hex is just an infinite series of bull flags.
Yeah.
That's
what I was going to ask you. So what I saw us consolidate around the 7, 8, 9 cent area for a while, like what we're doing now. And then boom, we made our jump, and then we hit that 11, 12 cent range. And then from there it consolidated again, and then boom, did another run. And now it's coming back down to the 12 cent and consolidating more. But that move was really kind of a buy the news type of move because of Pulse launch, but we're still consolidated at that level. It seems like, because we ran a long time around the 7, 8, 9 cent range right in there.
Correct. And it's funny because I have a chart that basically lets you know where the price of hex is going to go. It just took time to see that. And what the chart does is it takes the payout per T share and price of hex summed up with the payout per T share, and it gives you what you could consider a future value for hex, because the differential in the price. And actually, let me just pull it up. I don't have it updated, but it's for the crossover, just to talk about where the price is going to go, right? Because that's what we're talking about. I don't want to turn it into a chart video or whatever. But just because it is topical, give me a second. Where are you? Here we go. All right.
Damn, B-Sod is getting harsh on me. That's good to see. I must rate. Saying, can we sacrifice Papa B? Of course you can.
No one will have him there.
Why not?
You once you have a good hater or troll, you've made it. Congratulations, Papa.
I have nothing but respect and love for B-Sod. I've seen him for a long time, and now I get I get my own troll. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's how you know you made it to the big leagues.
Oh, yeah.
So if you look at the chart here, and you scale back to the left, you see this is 12.5 cent area. And this was happening at the time where hex was trading 1.5, 2.5 cents. It was just right before it really took off and left 2.5 cents. So what happened here, right? We had a bunch of payout per T shares go down, right? Which is what happens every day. And with that, we were printing this valuation up here, interestingly enough. And look at what we're doing right now. That looks familiar, does it not?
Yeah, a little.
A little. Well, that's the whole point. It's not supposed to be exactly similar, but it's a value point, right? And that's what this chart is showing. Because if you look back at price, anytime price goes somewhere and it stops, you got to go back and look and see what happened, right? You have this floor here, which is also a ceiling, right? Because this is the big payday when everything spiked down, right? And value came right back. After a couple of days, value came right back, and it was stuck under there. Then it went above there, and then it made a floor there, a permanent one, right? And then we just went off to the races until we got to this place here, and now we're just paused. So this is to say that the next place is going to be, and we've talked about this before, but it's probably going to be 30 to 50 cents, because this is what this chart is showing. Because this is the value and where it's being built across time. And there's a reason hex, goes sideways and then jumps. So, whether it happens before end of sack phase or not, hard to say, but it is going to happen. That's for sure. Because this is, 2 days ago already at this point, this data? And we're already back at 13 cents after dipping to 11.7.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy, right? Because this is real, right? This is actually happening. This pink line is actually happening every single day. Because the pink line is a payout per T-share in dollar terms. That's all. And what I do is I cross-reference it with the price at crossover. So what you're getting is the actual payout per T-share at that respective price when it's paid over time, right? So every day, that's what you're seeing with these price prints, right? And over time, what we've seen is that the spread just gets wider and wider. And that's because value is building at a greater and greater rate. And what that ends up doing is that it ends up pushing price up at rates that don't make sense to most people. And that's why the hex chart looks crazy. So, yeah. And this exponential line, this trend line here, it can't be like that unless it continues, right? Like if this deviates, if the price action deviates whatsoever, then this exponential line will cease to exist because it can't be there. Because then the data can't pick it up, right? Like it won't be true. So in order for this green line to stay there, price has to continue doing what it's doing.
It has to traverse it back and forth across it.
It has to continue doing what it's doing. It has to. Otherwise, the line will just ultimately disappear and become null and void. Because this line is based on the future value. So that means these two things have to continue being true as far as how they behave. Because they're a sum of these two parts. Because the yellow line is a sum of those two parts, I mean. But that's just, supplemental, right? The most important thing is the pink line. That's the important thing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Because that's what's taking us, forward, ultimately. So, and we were ready.
We should be 92 cents.
Eventually, yeah. Eventually. but the thing is this, right? This is an important thing to understand about this chart. The longer the compression periods that we see here, like we've seen here,
the bigger the move,
the bigger the impending move. Correct.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's always done. I mean, that's the one thing that we've recognized, that I've recognized with the charts, is that whenever hex consolidates, it's like a rubber band or a bow being pulled back, and it just consolidates, and then boom, it springs. And then it just that's what the pressure does to it. The time pressure of watching it sit there for a while. And we've had these moments, and it's funny because this is really moving in hyper speed compared to anything else out there in the real world, I guess you can call it, or in the other trading
legacy
world,
side.
In legacy side. There you go. Because you don't see, or you'll see consolidations for way long periods of time before something does something like this. This thing is doing this like within weeks and months. It's just boom, 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 continuously happening.
Light speed.
What's that?
It's doing the light speed.
It's doing it at light speed. Even though while we're looking at it every second of every day, watching it do this, it seems like it's a long period of time. But no, this is just a 2-year period, or under a 2-year period, that we've been watching this do what it's doing, and it hasn't faulted from that line. It hasn't. It's doing what it was programmed to do, which is fascinating to me, because what people, and I know Wales says this all the time, hex is doing what it's supposed to do. And what that means is, I don't think that there's really ever been a financial product. Well, no, there hasn't. This is the first one that has ever been truly programmed to do what it's doing. It's programmed to do this. It's not like this is emotions and the emotions are the wiggly lines that go up and down, above and below that line. That's people's attitudes, emotions, things happening, whatever. But that doesn't affect hex as much as its programming and what its trajectory is doing. The wiggly lines are that's human beings doing what human beings do. like those dips and everything and the big spikes. All that is just human beings doing. But if you look, that green line is really the programming of hex right there. That's what it's doing. It's been programmed to do so, and no other financial product has ever been able to be programmed that way until now, and
Right.
the rest of the crypto space hasn't figured that out. Richard figured that out before everybody else did, is the thing. They were trying to program promises, and they were trying to program value for them, or value for a thing, or an application or something like that,
Right.
which they failed miserably. Richard said, well, I'm gonna make something, move market price up. That's what I'm going to program. And that's what he did. Hex is just perfectly programmed to do what it's doing. And all the other stuff, like you said, that's just human emotions. All the wiggly lines up and down above that line are and it's doing what it's supposed to. So guess what that means? and if it's done that for almost 2 years straight, you got to go, wow, this is something you have to get yourself in. Oh, look who's here.
Hey, RG3,
Hello.
are you in your car? I mean, Kinetics?
Kinetics is in his car.
He's come and gone.
And he's gone.
And he's gone.
See,
was
now
just
you
checking
see,
it was
Captain, what it's
running.
like for us when you come on like that. It's like, hey, we're excited, and then no.
So anyway, that's the real exciting thing about Hex. I think that's what, like Wales is jumping up and down on his chair all the time trying to say, you guys got to understand what's going on here, is that, this thing has been programmed to do something that nothing else has ever been programmed to do. And here's the line it's going to do it on. And look where it goes in the future. This is your future here if you're looking at it,
Yeah.
And that's when it almost feels like it should be illegal. You know what I mean? I'm serious. When I think about it, I get excited, and then I go, "Oh shit, man, we're in trouble." Fucking Richard got us in trouble, man. We're gonna get popped for this shit because it should be criminal. You know what I mean?
Right.
And but it's here. We got it, and if you don't see it, if you're not in and you're not staked out, then you're not taking advantage of something truly amazing.
Correct.
Amazing.
Yep. And what was the biggest dip in Hex? Does anyone know? I think it was like 76%.
85 maybe? I don't know.
85?
I honestly don't
Maybe
know.
76.
I'll be back.
What happened?
I think it was 76.
So
Let's look.
I think that too.
Wasn't it after Big Payday?
Well, let's look. I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, because
Let me get rid of this cursor thing because
I think this is better than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin did like 85% dips, and Hex, for the time it's existed, never dipped that hard.
So we got a 63.77% dip most recently.
Okay.
Let's see. 30%.
Not even a real dip.
Yeah. That was a big payday one. Oh no, wait, sorry. Wrong time frame. Whoops. Actually, let's go to V1, right? Let's see here. There we go. That's everything. So let's see. Oh, hold on. Trying to get this thing to snap in place here. 79%. But that doesn't, when you're talking about from zero, like literally, that you can't really count that, because that's clearly going to be like outsized to the downside. So
on $100 volume.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you really tracking? You're not really tracking anything. So 72.5% again and again. When there's so many zeros, the variation is going to be larger, right? Because the numbers are going to move at greater rates because they're so small, right? So that's just a function of the zeros. So 70% dips when something has 3, 4 zeros in front of it should not be like wow to anybody. It's just natural because of the size of the numbers. So let's see here. Let's say we get a smaller dip. Yeah, 55, 54% there. And this looks equivalent next to it. Let's see. Yeah, 67%. So a little bit lower. Let's see what the big payday one is. That was from like...
That was the biggest one, right?
Yeah, that's probably is the biggest one because this one was like 1.5 cents to fucking 0.3, 2 cents. Yeah, 85.6%. So this one is probably
the important question here, Wales, is when moon, sir?
Oh, it's already in progress, bro. Look at the chart.
I mean, if you look at the last month, it looks pretty moonish.
When Rock push. When Magic Carpet ride.
KNTX, I've been waiting like days to say this. I'm broadcasting from a castle, and you're broadcasting from a Toyota.
It's actually a Ford, but okay.
Yeah.
Close enough. So from April 27th, which was the last day we had a dip before the ramp. So that's the last loader now. Hex is up 1,475.5%.
Not bad.
And that's in 79 days. 79 days.
Wow.
So
Married with Children reference, very much appreciated.
Yeah, Al Bundy is the best.
Yeah, and we are only three doublings away from $1. That's like Johnny said it somewhere in chat, and just 3 doublings. So how long can that take?
Well,
Like 3 months.
That's cool.
let's see. We're at 13%. Let's do a little math. We're at 13%. Half of 13% is 6.5. That's literally like right here. And that actually happened way back here. Right? So you cut that 6.5 in half, that's 3 1/4. Right? 6.5, 3 1/4. That's pretty much right there. So like almost every month or two, we're doubling.
God damn. That's a lot.
Okay.
And we haven't.
Go ahead.
We're not even entertaining right now the possibility of the magic carpet ride of all this USDC that seems to be sitting in the sacrifice wallet. The chance of it moonshotting the price. So we're not even discussing that.
I had a nightmare about that last night. And maybe it was a realization or I don't know if it was I had a nightmare. It woke me up and made me check my staker app. So I
change the sheets.
I was thinking about it and I was like, okay, that would be so awesome. That would be cool. Like to see that. And then I thought, then I woke up in my dream. I woke up and saw my staker app, and Pulse had moonshotted, and Richard was on stream saying, "What did you think? You thought I was going to moonshot Hex? Hex doesn't need to be moonshot. Pulse needed to be moonshot. What are you, all stupid?" And I was like, "No."
Anything's plausible, man. That's the thing.
That would be a nightmare since no one has bullshit. So.
And then it hasn't been off my mind ever since. It's one of those nightmares that sticks with you. You're like, oh no, oh no, it's Pulse City's moonshotting, not Hex. Oh no.
I mean, I'd be happy with either, to be fair. Like,
yeah. Then you remember that you sacrificed, and then you go back to sleep happy.
Yes.
I love those types of nightmares. Am I too rich? Am I too rich?
That's the best kind of nightmare to have. Oh God, I'm gonna kill myself with all this money.
Yeah,
go ahead, man.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that the previous doubling before that happened in 9 days, from one in 1/8 of a cent to 3 1/4. So or 3/8 of a cent, whatever it is. It was pretty quick, is the point. So, yeah, man.
Well, we ran up pretty fast from 7 to 17 before correcting back down to 12, 13 after a wick down to 7. So,
right.
From 7 to 17 is I wouldn't mind seeing a move like that again.
So you know what's interesting about that wick down is that in legacy markets it typically means two things. It means that the structure below has now been cleared, meaning that whatever orders were there as like a stop or a buy order have now been accepted into the market, and the market is now higher after that. Right. Yeah.
It's like a probe. It's a probe down to see what's in there.
It's actually yes, and it's a little bit more than that. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like yanking a chain to a chainsaw. Because now the market has been cleared out below. There's nothing down there now, and now it's ready to just go. That's what that did, right? And it's interesting because now I have to reconfigure my brain to go back to legacy side things. Because now we have V3 to contend with. Before we didn't have that. See, so this is why I'm like, hold on.
So many years of practice.
Yeah, well, you're talking about how the limit orders are set up by the one-sided limit order, I guess you would call it. Or...
Right. This is one. Yeah, limit orders. A limit order can only be one-sided. What V2 had was not a limit order. You were just covering a range. So that was a difference there. This is now one-sided, right? And they tried to sell it down so hard that all they did was run into a buy wall.
Which was at 11 cents.
Which was at the time it was at 7.8 cents because that was a low.
Oh, so they cleared it is what they did.
They cleared it out, right? And they cleared it out to a point where they could no longer clear it out any further below. And now we know there's a wall here starting at 5.5 cents. We know there's a wall here now, right? Like, obvious. All you gotta do is look at where is it? Did I close it? Damn it, I did. All right, here's the old one. This is the old one. This was the one from 2 nights ago where whoever it is threw these 660 million hex quantities across the bids from 13.61 to from 14.45 through 14.6. So what I'm gonna do now is because I don't want to refresh that page. I want to just keep that one open. I'm gonna look. So now it's V3, right? All right, look at what we have here. Hard to see, but I'll zoom in. We have almost 1 million hex sitting at 13.05 cents right now. Right. That wasn't there earlier today.
That's not a substantial, is it? How many million?
It's not a big wall.
850,000.
That's nothing.
I mean, right. One buy order could clear it out, but it's there right now. Right. So right now it's going to hold the price down.
At least that person is not market dumping. Somebody found.
Well, here's an interesting thing, right? It could be one or two things. It's either somebody keeping the price of hex here so that they can load up on it. Because why not? You'd be a moron not to if you have the capital to do so, because these prices are not going to last, right? So it's either that, or it's somebody really trying to protect their position going into the end of sacrifice. Now, given what I've just realized, I'm thinking it's the former versus the latter, because the latter is what you would get from V2 to a certain extent, or not really V2, but it's the kind of thinking that V2 would allow. Right, like it's not really nuanced, but here you have the ability to suppress the price. Oh, where the hell did this shit go?
But it's not thick. I mean, and you're not protecting yourself from whales. You're just protecting yourself from
price movement.
It's from small buyers and stuff.
Right, from price movement. But here's the thing: we know 850,000 hex could easily get eaten up like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like 100,000 buying it.
Exactly.
That's been around for at least 6 hours. I heard about it earlier today over here.
Oh, really? I checked earlier. Yeah. I checked earlier and it wasn't there like a couple hours ago.
No, I heard about it in chat, and I was in chat probably about 4 hours ago. I think it was already 2 hours on people's radars. I think. If that's the same one, it could be a new one.
No. It could be the same person taking it and moving it, putting it and taking it off, because that's how it works. You don't have to keep it there.
Right.
And that's the thing people have to now think about. It was there 2 hours ago or 4 hours ago, how you say, or 6 hours ago. But when I looked 2 hours ago, it wasn't there, you see? So they can move it and put it as they please. It doesn't have to stay there. And Joe is right. It's just to keep the market in a certain position. And my guess is that what they're doing is that they're accumulating. And odds are is that this is going to keep pumping into the end of the sack phase. Because why wouldn't it? Everybody already sacked at what they think is the best. Everybody's already comfortable. Sack and chill, when they should have been chilling and sacking instead. We'll see.
Wales, why would you risk like nearly 1 million
exactly
worth of X?
Exactly. Because here's the thing. That's a great point.
Any time could someone step in and just, okay, that much liquidity, I think.
Exactly. And that's the risk they take, right? Why would somebody be willing to sell or put or sell any hex at that price? Why? Especially that much, right? It doesn't really make sense. So that's exactly what Peter is trying to allude to. It's like, well, why would they? Well, they wouldn't. And that's the risk that they're taking. If any of these orders if 50% of his orders gets filled, he's going to be pissed, whoever this entity is. They're going to be pissed because then now they have to buy back potentially higher because guess what? You just got cleared out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the irony.
Also,
Go ahead,
last time on my Slovak stream, I spoke with the Rocky guy, and he's actually providing a lot of big liquidity, and he told me that like it's been a gold mine in his it can be really profitable if the price fluctuates. So if this gets filled in on the way up, like it gets bought up, and then it stays there. Like if the price goes again lower, then it gets like refilled, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing. It's only profitable while it's chopping up and down in this range. He's going to get left behind at some point, and he's going to have that impermanent loss where he could have had millions of dollars worth of hex, but now he's just got $100,000 worth of fees. I'm not sure which one I would trade for, right? Just kidding. Yeah. That's an obvious.
Well, maybe it's someone who just thinks that who thinks that the price will chop in this range, and just wants to make few bucks on it.
Well, good on him in the meantime.
It doesn't have to be just someone who wants to sell.
Right.
And
that
doesn't
have to be, yes.
But the thing about it is the risk they take is exactly what was detailed earlier,
course,
you know. You know, that's the risk they take, and if they want to take that risk, that's on them. But it's just like KNTX said, they're going to get left behind eventually. So the question becomes, well, how long do they want to provide liquidity, right? And here's the thing: a lot of whales, they benefit more from that than little folks do, right? Because their capital mass is much bigger. So they have a different incentive structure than say you and I, because we don't benefit. You know, what's 30 bips of a bunch of fees? I mean, so far the fees in the last 24 hours are $17,000.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's not a lot.
Nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah, if I had over 1 billion hex, it wouldn't hurt me so bad to throw 250 million in as liquidity and just provide liquidity and chop up on those fees all day long.
Right.
Because
that's one thing.
I'm still sitting on sitting on 1 billion hex.
It makes sense if you have a lot of hex, then like providing liquidity, it's
right.
Could be beneficial for you if the price really chops in the range you are looking at.
Right, because the important thing to remember is that unless you're booking orders, you're not getting paid for providing liquidity. You just got money sitting out there, so there's opportunity cost in that. So it's important to remember that as well.
Yeah, a lot of people overlook the opportunity cost. The opportunity cost can usually be your greatest cost.
Yeah, that's the biggest risk in LP. Yeah, for that's why I say for small wallets, small pockets, it's not beneficial to provide liquidity. You're losing all the way out. You're losing all the way out. If you got like 6 figures to throw at it, makes sense.
You're trying to liquidate. But, I
chopping
mean,
up
if you're
minutes.
that coin project and you want, guys.
It's
Sorry,
just
can I
turned
be
into a
quiet?
robot.
Yeah, I couldn't really understand anything you just
Something
said.
about dickhole and licorice. I could hear. What was that? What was that question?
Go in reverse, and
Yeah.
we lost him. All right,
Yeah, I
fine.
mean his reception was bad, so I'm not even surprised. But yeah, man, opportunity cost is everything. So that's why it makes sense for bigger players than it does for smaller players because they have bigger economic mass to benefit from, right? Like a whale could be making 5,000 a day from that, right? If they have enough economic mass to take up that much of the liquidity pool, right? And that's
Yeah.
really what it boils down to because so far the fees are only $17,000. Like that's not really a lot of money. So
Yeah, and you can look at it like in a way that if you have a lot of X, you can have a lot of stake, and that like long stakes,
right,
and that capital is basically locked. You cannot access it.
correct.
But if you provide liquidity, you can take profits from providing like
Correct.
the fees.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that's something that isn't that bad in my point of view because you are basically not what's the right word, like enlarging the market, allowing bigger players to step in, and
Right.
when the price chops in the range, then you are rewarded for that with the fees.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, here's the thing, right? This is an interesting thing about providing liquidity. The market's gonna go wherever it's gonna go, regardless,
Yeah.
right? And people try to like control it to a certain extent, right? And like just like this person is trying to with this order right here. But the important thing to remember is that that's always temporary. That never lasts. Never ever lasts. Never lasts. And the reason it doesn't is because the market don't care.
Yeah.
Right. When people are going to come in and buy, they're just going to come in and buy. When they're going to come in and sell, they're going to come in and sell. And that's pretty much it.
Maybe providing liquidity would make sense in those consolidation patterns, like
Right.
the bull flags and stuff like that. When you split it up, and yeah,
For sure.
just yeah. If you have if you want to have some liquid and make some money on it, it sounds about right. If you have
Yeah, that's the thing.
capital.
If you have a big pot of money and you want to keep it liquid, not locked up, then providing liquidity is a great way to make cash flow. There's no doubt about it.
Benny Bills is right here, guys. Hit the like button and
Isn't it?
subscribe. The button pumps your bags and helps others get saved as well.
There you go. There you go. And that's it. So let's talk about this buy wall because I see a lot of people confused. So let me explain this first. The red line is the current price. Everything to the left of the current price on this chart is a buy order. I mean a sell order. So everything to the left of this red line is a sell order. Everything to the right is a buy order. Now, how come? Well, this is the current price. So in order to buy it, right, you can't really pay more than the market is allowing you to pay for it. So price can only come down in order for you to buy it, unless you're willing to pay the current market price being offered by this seller at that price, right? So that's how we know that these are all buy orders. Now, how do we know these are all sell orders? Well, you can't sell something at a price lower than what it currently is trading at. So the lowest price you can sell it at is this red price, or is the price that's in red. Anything below that, you're crossing the market, which doesn't make sense, right? So you can only surmise that the orders to the left are buy orders because they're higher prices, or sell orders because they're higher prices. And people can typically only sell when somebody's willing to pay a price for an item, right? So think about it like a store. It's almost the same thing. You just got to realize that these are price levels. And that's it.
Yep.
Hope that made some sense.
So what is that, the biggest sell wall on there? What is that price?
13.05 cents.
Left of that though, there's another one, isn't there?
Yeah, there's plenty. From 13.94 all the way through 16 cents.
But what are the volumes of those?
Clean sailing.
Yeah.
It's $500,000.
The average is around probably like 350 is the average going across those price levels if you look at everything that's there.
That's a lot smaller than what I thought it was.
Yep. It's not that big. Not that big.
And if you split your buy order, if you put it through matcha or 1 inch, then it will split across all the liquidity. So I think bigger players can step in.
Yeah. This is
I mean there's not much slippage if you use matcha or 1 inch. Like,
no.
We were talking about it last night though. A lot of orders in matcha and in 1 inch are not getting completely filled.
I've seen that. Mm-hmm.
So there's been some. I had an issue with it a while ago, just one time, and I was like, I didn't understand it, and then I started hearing more and more people talk about it. So I don't understand what's going on in there, or what makes it do that. It's an automatic market maker.
Captain was that wick up to 21 cents.
Easy. So they don't get filled sometimes, and I was wondering what that is. There's got to be an answer, whether it's bots or whatever that interfere, or if it's just the way the system works. I don't know, but there is something going on in there. I've seen a lot of comments about it.
Yeah, I think it's a technical issue, to be honest with you, because for it to not fill just 3% of the order is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's like a small percentage of it that just doesn't get filled, and then it moves past you, and that's it. And it's like, wait a minute. So
does that mean you don't get? Is it like for a limit order? I take it. So would you get anything then?
That's for a limit order. You get 97% of your order filled commonly, and not the remaining 3%, which is.
Can you pull it then pull that out? Nice.
Yeah, because I mean you're already filled, so you can cancel the rest if you want.
Yeah, but if you have a big order in there, then it's like
problematic because 3%
problematic. Yeah,
So
So the off to the left, the sell orders, the sell where the sell wall dips and kind of levels off at the very end there.
Here.
No, further down, further. No, further, all the way. There you go. That whole area there.
Mm-hmm.
So those are just like pie in the sky sell orders, right?
Yep. Just looking to get filled as the price crosses those levels.
Okay, and then, but there's not very much of them. There's not much volume there, obviously.
No, all looks pretty much less than 100,000.
Okay, so from where that starts, up against the other orders that are immediate. All the way to today, how much volume is in between there?
You mean from this point?
Yeah, from that point back to today's price. I'm sorry, to today's price, the other way. So from there to there
to there.
Yes.
Let's see.
And I think you and I talked about that when I was in the car the other day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me give you an accurate number right now.
Because those are all the limit orders that are at risk of getting destroyed if the price moons. You know what I mean? If a whale came in and wanted to wreck all that shit right there, if there are any other whales or anybody sitting in there trying to hold it down or whatever, that can be sucked up with not much volume is my guess.
Yep. So you guys know so what's happening is that these orders are happening in a vacuum, right? So when somebody's buying, somebody else is selling.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Right? Like that's clear cut what's happening. So what needs to transpire in order for this to continue to go up is that you need to see an outsized relation, right? Meaning you need to see more buys than sells. Once the buy, it's not the dollar size or the quantity of the coins being bought. because what's going to happen is that these orders are going to start getting triggered, right? Because these are all limit orders, right?
Yeah.
So you get down from 330 to 250, 300 or then 200K, right? Like if this person starts leaving their orders there and they see that this is getting gobbled up, they have two choices to make: either continue getting filled or pull their orders, because you have to remember they don't actually want to sell. They're just trying to keep price where it's at. Right. And once that happens, guess what? You're back to normal size liquidity and boom. That's it.
I hope obviously my hope is that they get filled faster than they can realize they're getting eaten out.
Correct.
So
That's what I'm saying.
Correct.
One nice big market buy can clear that whole field with not much financial energy. That's what I'm trying to figure out, is how much volume is in between that whole wall there until it's just bought out.
So up to this point, I'll tell you right now.
You gonna write a check, Captain?
Well, I was gonna see if Henry wanted to do it this time.
This time.
Hey, Captain,
So-
I don't think they take sex checks, bro.
So for this little part, this is just $430,000.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
That is nothing.
So what I did was I took the sum of all those levels, right? The sum of hex sitting at those levels, and I multiplied them by the current market price, which is actually less than 13 cents. I just rounded up to be nice. So let's keep going.
Well, let me see what I can do about that by the end of the week.
So
Yeah.
we're probably looking at like a couple $1 million there, maybe $3 million, maybe $2.5–3 million there. That's
nothing.
That's nothing. Like
That's nothing
like
with $100 billion market cap.
Right.
No. Just wreck that wall, tear it down.
Dude,
One swing.
That's the dangers of being a whale trying to play whale games. There's a lot bigger whales out there that can come just gobble you up at any minute.
Yep. And you don't even see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
So you just play. That's why you just got to trade your plan and stick to it. That's why people are coming at me like, "Oh, you haven't sacked it. You're crazy." Da da da. Like, no, I had a plan and I'm sticking to it, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Wells. I'm with you, Wells.
But at least with version 3, you don't have this like infinite impermanent loss, because if you provide liquidity on V2, then if the price goes really, really high, then your impermanent loss has basically no upside.
So you have a chance with version 3. So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
You can provide liquidity, and if the price goes out of your range, then basically it saves you. Like,
Hey, someone needs to make Peter watch some American movies. He doesn't get the references. So
the total dollar amount from here, from 13.94 cents through 16 cents, is 1.3 million USD.
Oh.
That's a whole lot lower than it used to be.
Oh boy, maybe some of them are backing out.
It used to be 9 million when I first did the count.
they're listening. They're listening to whales and how they're about to get their lunch eaten and they're pulling their face right now.
They're getting scared. They're getting scared. They should be. That's a dangerous place to be sitting right now.
This is all math. This is here's the funny thing about this is why Hexagons are going to be ahead of the game versus everybody else, right? Like, people are going to step on the line thinking this is like regular market shit, and they're going to get fucking sideswiped because they don't understand. It's just math.
Yeah.
You can play these little well games if you want. All it takes is the one flip of the switch to clear you out.
Yep. And here's the thing, Wells, is it's math, but it's math going in one direction, and most of those people are doing math that goes both directions.
Opposite direction.
The opposite direction. And Hex's math only goes one direction. So if you're not in that one directional game and working the math that way, which is buying on as low as you can, trying to catch a dip and staking that shit, then you're fucking up.
Yep.
If you're trying to trade it, you're fucking up. Look at that.
They don't call this programmable money for no reason.
Correct.
This is just the first I've actually programmed it to do this.
Oh man. Oh, I just seen a charting pattern that I have to put together today. Yep. I will do it. I've got some TA coming, guys. TA.
Oh,
The best kind.
Only the best.
I just seen a pattern. Wow.
is it the old timey mustache pattern that I know and love?
You're gonna like it. Put it this way, Papa. It's gonna
yeah.
take us. It's gonna take us to the era. It'll take us to. It'll be an era pattern. That's for sure. Some people probably won't even get it. Some of these, like, what are they called now? Not millennials. They're called something else.
Gen Zs.
This generation's Gen Z. Yeah, they won't get it because it'll go over their head. But yeah, you're gonna love it, Papa.
Is this true?
Oh,
Banter, talking.
we got it.
I think, well, we're at almost an hour anyway, so I think this is the time.
Yeah.
Let's get on that.
Everybody go support Richard over on Banter. Crypto Banter.
All right, guys.
Lady outro.
Yeah, outro.
Where is it? Where is
Come on,
it?
Peter.
Guys.
Oh,
Liddy,
Peter.
Liddy.
Come on.
Liddy.
Oh,
Let's
Peter.
bring it.
Come on, Pete.